We've all spent the last few years thinking about viruses, and for a very good reason. The recent pandemic was a stark reminder of just how much of a threat they can be to our health and our way of life. It really hammered home the need to understand these tiny, invisible agents better. But what if I told you that the story of viruses is far more complex, and frankly more fascinating than just doom and gloom? What if viruses are not just villains, but also unsung heroes in the grand story of life on Earth? In high-security labs and remote corners of the world, a dedicated group of scientists, often called virus hunters, are on a mission. They're not just looking for the next big threat, though that is a huge part of their job. They're proactively searching for unknown viruses that could one day cause a global health crisis, what some call Disease X. The idea is to find them before they find us, to understand their potential, and to prepare our defenses. It's a race against time, a real-life scientific thriller happening right now. These researchers venture into jungles, caves, and bustling animal markets, taking samples from bats, birds, and other wildlife, trying to map the vast unseen world of viruses that could potentially jump to humans. This hunt for dangerous pathogens is absolutely critical. But it only tells half the story. While the media and our own experiences naturally focus on the harmful viruses, a growing number of scientists are looking at them from a completely different angle. They're exploring the countless beneficial roles that viruses have played and continue to play in shaping all life on this planet, including us. It's a paradigm shift that's changing how we view the most abundant biological entities on Earth. To give you a sense of scale, let's talk numbers. Scientists estimate there are a staggering 10 nonillion viruses on the planet. That's a 10 with 31 zeros after it. It's more than all the stars in the universe. So how do scientists even begin to study this vast, invisible realm? One of the most powerful tools in their arsenal is a field called metagenomics. Instead of trying to isolate and grow each virus in a lab, which is incredibly difficult, metagenomics allows them to take a sample from literally anywhere, a drop of seawater, a scoop of soil, a swab from a bat's mouth, and sequence all the genetic material within it. They then use powerful computers to sift through this mountain of data, piecing together the genetic codes of thousands of new and unknown viruses at once. It's like being an archaeologist of the microbial world, reconstructing ancient and modern life from tiny genetic fragments. This technology is opening up a whole new frontier, revealing a viral diversity that is more immense and more surprising than we ever imagined. And what they're finding is truly revolutionary. It turns out that viruses are fundamental architects of life. For instance, have you ever heard of bacteriophages, or phages for short? These are viruses that infect and kill bacteria. They are the most abundant life form on Earth, and they are crucial for controlling bacterial populations in every environment, from the oceans to our own gut. In the ocean, phages kill about 20% of all marine microbes every single day. This massive daily turnover releases huge amounts of nutrients like carbon and nitrogen back into the water, which then fuels the growth of plankton, the very base of the marine food web. Without these viruses, the entire chemistry of the ocean would be different, and the planet's climate would be unrecognizable. Their influence doesn't stop in the sea. Inside our own bodies, we have a community of viruses living in and on us, collectively known as the human virome. While we're still in the early days of understanding it, it seems that a healthy virome, particularly the phages that live in our gut, plays a vital role in maintaining a balanced gut microbiome. They keep potentially harmful bacteria in check and help promote the growth of beneficial ones. Some researchers are even exploring phage therapy as a potential alternative to antibiotics, using these natural bacteria killers to target specific infections that have become resistant to traditional drugs. It's a back-to-the-future approach, using nature's own weapons to fight disease. But perhaps the most mind-blowing discovery is how deeply viruses are woven into our own DNA. Our genome is littered with the remnants of ancient viruses that infected our ancestors millions of years ago. In fact, about 8% of human DNA is made up of these viral relics, called endogenous retroviruses. For a long time, scientists thought this was just junk DNA, useless baggage from our evolutionary past. But we now know that's not true. Our bodies have repurposed some of this ancient viral code for our own benefit. One of the most stunning examples of this relates to pregnancy. A gene called syncytin, which is absolutely essential for the formation of the placenta, the organ that connects a developing fetus to its mother and provides nourishment, is actually a repurposed viral gene. This gene originally allowed a virus to fuse with a host cell to infect it. Our ancestors co-opted this fusion ability to allow placental cells to fuse together, creating the critical barrier between mother and child. Without this ancient viral infection, mammalian pregnancy as we know, it simply wouldn't exist. So in a very real sense, we owe a fundamental part of our existence as humans to a virus. This completely reframes our relationship with viruses. They aren't just invaders. They are an integral part of the web of life. They drive evolution by shuffling genes between different species, creating new genetic combinations that can lead to new adaptations. They regulate ecosystems, maintain balance within our own bodies, and have even provided the raw material for key evolutionary innovations. The story of life on Earth is inextricably linked with the story of viruses. So, as we continue to prepare for the threat of the next pandemic, it's equally important to appreciate the other side of the coin. The vast majority of viruses are not our enemies. They are a dynamic and essential part of our planet's biology. Understanding their full role, both the good and the bad, is one of the great scientific challenges of the 21st century. The more we learn, the clearer it becomes that we live not just on a planet of animals and plants, but on a planet of viruses. And our future may depend on understanding their world as much as our own. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the hidden world of viruses. If you found this as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button, and consider subscribing for more stories from the frontiers of science. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next video.